Hi, Kirk here. This is episode 32 of Day 60, counting down to March 1st, 2027. And today is Christmas. So I want to slow this episode down because Christmas isn't just a holiday, it's a story and a strange one. We tend to clean it up, we soften the edges, we turn it into something sentimental. But the original Christmas story isn't sentimental at all. It's disruptive, it's inconvenient, and it shows up right in the middle of real life. So we have a young couple, no money, no control over their circumstances, and they're forced to travel with no room available. We have a birth that happens not because the timing is ideal, but because it just can't wait. Now, that alone tells us something important. God didn't wait for the world to be ready. He entered it exactly as it was, messy, crowded, unpredictable, unfair, which means Christmas was never about things going smoothly. It was about God stepping into the middle of disorder. And that matters because so many of us come into Christmas feeling like our lives are unfinished. Some of us are carrying unresolved tension. Some of us are carrying loss. Some of us are carrying disappointment we didn't plan on explaining to anyone. And we assume that if God were really present, things would feel calmer than this. But the Christmas story suggests the opposite. God shows up inside the chaos, not after it's resolved. Jesus isn't born into peace, he's born into danger. And almost immediately, there's fear, threat, violence. We have a king who feels challenged, a family forced to flee, a child whose life is targeted before he can even speak. Which brings me to something I don't think we talk about enough at Christmas. There's a cosmic side to the story. In Revelation 12, there's this image of a woman about to give birth and a dragon waiting to devour the child. It's symbolic, but it's not abstract. The message is simple and unsettling at the same time. From the very beginning, this story wasn't just about a baby, it was about opposition, about good entering the world and immediately being resisted. Now, Christmas is the moment where light steps into darkness and darkness reacts, which helps explain something we all experience but rarely connect to the story. Why doing the right thing often feels harder than doing nothing, why growth is resisted internally and externally, and why peace doesn't come easily even when we're pursuing it honestly. The Christmas story tells us resistance doesn't mean you're wrong. It often means you're moving in the right direction, and that reframes a lot because many of us look at our struggles and assume they're proof of failure. But the story says struggles is part of the arrival. Even Jesus entered the world under threat, and yet this is the part that always grounds me. The power of Christmas isn't force, it's humility. God doesn't respond to opposition with domination, he responds with presence. A child, dependent, vulnerable, growing slowly. No shortcuts here, which tells me something else I need to hear as I get older. God isn't in a hurry the way I am. He plays the long game. And that's uncomfortable for people like us, people who want resolution, clarity, and closure. But Christmas reminds us that transformation doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives quietly, incrementally, almost invisibly. If this year was hard for you, that doesn't disqualify you from hope. If you're still carrying things you thought would be gone by now, that doesn't mean God missed you. If your life feels smaller than you imagined, that doesn't mean it's insignificant. A manger doesn't look like much, but it held the turning point of history. And here's where I want to bring this home, not theologically, but personally. As I move towards 60, I'm realizing that most of life isn't shaped by dramatic moments. It's shaped by quiet faithfulness, by choosing honesty over image, by choosing patience over urgency, by choosing humility over control. Christmas isn't about everything changing today. It's about remembering that something has changed, even if we don't feel it yet. That light has entered, and light doesn't shout, it reveals. So if today feels joyful, receive it. If today feels heavy, don't fight it. If today feels ordinary, trust that God works there too. You don't need to manufacture a feeling. You don't need to force meaning. Just be present. And tomorrow, just tomorrow, choose one small step toward truth, towards rest, towards steadiness. That's how this story continues. That's how lives change. That's how we move forward, one quiet, faithful step at a time. Thanks for being with me today. One day better.